To be a veteran is an experience that presents challenges and difficulties that have defined the person I am by making me a stronger human being than I could have ever imagined I would be.
Welcome to Veterans Day. I'm Craig Doherty, Commander of VFW Post 6785 in Kent, Washington. Throughout the country, people would be gathering this Veterans Day to remember, to honor, and to pay gratitude to all those who have served our country, past and present. Our gathering in this video is just one small part in a larger cause of pride across this great nation today and every day. It's one small way that we can honor those who have made the personal sacrifice so that we may live in freedom. To those family members of veterans, you have lived through difficult times as their partners in service and at home taking on the heavy loads to keep those home fires burning. In the VFW, know this: we have a core value by which we serve, to ensure the health and welfare of veterans and their families. Lastly, all Gold Star family members watching this video know this, that we will never forget your greatest sacrifice to this, a most grateful nation. For our comrades taken from us on the field of battle, know they will have gone before us and have borne the greatest toll for our nation's freedoms and set the highest of standards for all of us who will follow. Some are heroes defined by deed in battle. All are heroes defined by selfless service. They all have one thing in common: they few chose to defend not only our country, but every individual living under that freedom. We, the veteran, are no longer defined by heritage or race or by nationality of our forefathers prior to their arrival on these shores. We are Americans first, last, always. Defined by our sacred oath of allegiance we have all taken. When one of us bleeds, we all bleed. Before we conclude, I want to address the World War II and Korean War veterans who are watching this video. Stand if you can. Wave your hand if you must. Our nation will always remember you came from the greatest generation, and your service and sacrifices are never to be forgotten. It is on your shoulders that we stand. You made our lives better for all follow-on generations and up to this very day going forward. To the veterans throughout this country, past, present, and future, we thank you. We thank you very much.
Will the audience please rise? Remove all non-religious headwear. Salute if you are not in uniform, or place your right hand over your heart, and join Troop 449 in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Color guard, forward, hug! Color guard, halt! Present, hug!
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, hug!
Hi, I'm Kent Mayor Dana Ralph, and I want to start this address by saying thank you to the VFW Post here in the city of Kent for giving me an opportunity to just say thank you. I feel like in our busy lives, we don't take enough time to stop and honor our veterans in a very sincere and honest way. This year in particular, it's it's important to say thank you. We're celebrating the 75th anniversary of VE and VJ days. We're also celebrating the 19th anniversary of 9/11. That's a lot, and it's a lot of history for us to be proud of. It's a lot of history for us to stop and reflect and really say thank you to those that have taken care of us and protected our country, protected our way of life. So want to start with just thank you. Thank you so much for your willingness to serve your country. Thank you for the sacrifices that have been made. Thank you to the families of our veterans who have also made those sacrifices by staying home and taking care of the home front while our veterans were out fighting for our country and fighting for all of us. As I've been reflecting on maybe what to say as a part of this video, it's made me think a lot about my husband's grandfather, really my grandpa. I will claim him as my own, and his service in World War II. Grandpa Ernie did not ever like to talk about his service. He spent 3 years in World War II and saw a lot of very intense battles, a lot of things that were probably very, very difficult to deal with, but he did what he needed to do because he knew it was the right thing. He knew that serving this country was what he had been called to do, especially during that time of war. One of the things that Ernie never did was talk about his experience in World War II. So he didn't talk about it with his kids. He didn't talk about it with his grandkids, my husband, myself. But there was a time when my son, so it would be his great-grandson, was working on a report for school, and the task was to interview a veteran. And we talked to Kyle, my son, about, Grandpa Ernie served, and we know that there's a lot there that he could learn from that, but we were also very, very aware of the fact that he didn't like to talk about his wartime experience. So Kyle approached him. Kyle was probably about 12 or 13, and to all of our surprise, Grandpa Ernie said, "You know what, I would love to talk to you about this." I watched this conversation from afar that lasted probably no less than 3 hours, and was able to sit in awe and learn about what Grandpa had been through and watch my son see history through the eyes of someone that had actually lived it. The relationship between the two of them was never the same after that. It was stronger. There was so much more respect there. And the thing that came out of that more than anything was my son, his generation's understanding of the sacrifices that were actually made by our veterans all through the years, whether it be World War I to Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm. I think until you get the chance to actually sit and talk to somebody that has lived through those experiences, it's hard to really understand what it means to serve and the sacrifices that were made. I will tell you, I was so thankful for Grandpa's willingness to share that with my son, and my hope is that that story doesn't end there, that my kids then share that history of service to this country with their children. That's why I think it's really important to take some time to say thank you, take some time to share our stories, make sure that all of our generations understand the sacrifices that were made for all of us. So with that, thank you for the opportunity to share my story. Thank you for the service that you have all provided to all of us here in protecting, like I said, our way of life and what we hold as very, very valuable in this country. So again, thank you for your service.
On behalf of VFW Post 6785 in Kent, Washington, we'd like to thank all veterans, past and present.
Thank you, veterans, for your